Okay, guys. No, I did not forget about the head of state for North Korea. For most of its existence, North Korea has not specified a formal head of state. The 1948 Constitution did not define a head of state, but with regard to political functions usually performed by the head of state, the chairman of the Standing Committee of the Supreme People's Assembly, or the SPA, could be considered one. Kim Il-sung was at the time, as premier, merely head of government, but not of state. His position grew more stable. He wanted to be recognized as head of state instead. Foreign admirers first started calling him such, and in the 1972 Constitution, his position was formalized as President of the Republic. After Kim Il-sung died in 1994, the presidency, and hence the position of head of state, was left vacant. While the late leader was titled the Eternal President of North Korea, the actual office of the president was written out of the Constitution in 1998, making the head of state undefined again. His son and successor, Kim Jong-il, kept the official titles given to him by the late president and never formally became head of state. During this period, the president of the SPA exercised many of the functions normally granted to the head of the state, such as receiving ambassadors. Titles used by Kim Jong-un have consistently defined him as the supreme leader, but not formal head of state. However, amendments to the DPRK Constitution in 2019 have granted the chairman of the State Affairs Commission, later renamed President of the State Affairs, a title held by Kim, the status representing the state and receiving, appointing ambassadors, effectively making him head of state. Now, the supreme leader of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, or simply known as the Supreme Leader of North Korea, is the head of state and head of government of North Korea. The leader directs the executive branch of the federal government and is commander-in-chief of the North Korean Armed Forces. Kim Jong-un is the third and current supreme leader of North Korea in office since December 17th of 2011. The executive and legislative powers. The president of the State Affairs Commissions is the head of state of North Korea. The North Korean Constitution gives the president the power to lead the state and appoint important state officials. The president also has the power to appoint diplomatic representatives to serve foreign relations in other countries. The president can declare a state of emergency, a state of war, or mobilization order and direct the country's national defense during times of war. The president also has absolute power and control over North Korea's nuclear arsenal. The president of the State Affairs has the power to choose the vice president and members of State Affairs Commission, who are elected by members of the Assembly. The President can also propose for their recall by the Assembly, and the President can also has the right to appoint or dismiss important state officials. The President can submit an agenda that will be discussed by the Supreme People's Assembly. The Commission can also submit an agenda to the Assembly. The President can also have the right to grant pardons. The Supreme Leader is the Commander-in-Chief of the North Korean Armed Forces. The leader may exercise supreme operational command and control of the country's military forces, and has plenary powers to launch, direct, and supervise military operations, order or authorize the deployment of troops, or launch nuclear weapons. Now, the official residence. Wonsan Residence is the current and official residence of the Supreme Leader of North Korea. The Supreme Leader also has other official state residents, but are kept hidden in a way with absolutely no access to them. As for protection, the military of state security is in charge with protecting the Supreme Leader and the First Family of North Korea. As part of their protection, their duties are also to investigate any types of threats towards the Kim family or any government official. It's also tasked in to conduct VIP protection duties for North Korean diplomats and employees who work in many North Korean embassies, accompanying and other foreign officials abroad. Now let's move on to the line of succession. The North Korean leadership line of succession is the order in which one of the members of the Kim family is to assume the powers and duties as Supreme Leader of North Korea upon their death. The Supreme Leader of the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, or simply known as the Supreme Leader of North Korea, is the head of state and head of government of North Korea. The leader directs the executive branch of the federal government and is Commander-in-Chief of North Korean Armed Forces. And like I said, Kim Jong-un is third and current Supreme Leader of North Korea in office since December 17th, 2011. Chairman of the Standing Committee of the Supreme People's Assembly. Now, this is the order of succession, starting with Kim Tu-bong, whose life spanned from 1889 to 1958, who took office on September 9th, 1948, and left office on September 20th, 1957. He was in office for 9 years and 11 days. His political party was Workers' Party of North Korea and was supported by Kim Il-sung. Next is Cho Yong-gong, whose life spanned from 1900 to 1976, who took office September 20th, 1957, and left office on December 28th. I'm not sure exactly when he was left. He was in office, though, for 15 years and 99 days. His political party was the Korean Social Democratic Party and was supported by Kim Il-sung. Give me 1 second. 1957. Doing a little math here. To 15 years. So plus 15. He was in office till 1972. So up next we have Kim Il-sung, whose life spanned from 1912 to 1994, who took office on December 28th, 1972, until his death on July 8th, 1994. He was in office for 21 years and 192 days. His political party was Workers' Party of Korea and was supported by himself. The head of state for North Korea was vacant from the death of Kim Il-sung on July 8, 1994, until Kim Jong-nam took office on September 5th, 1998, with Yang Hong-sop as chairman of the SPA Standing Committee and Kim Jong-il as supreme leader, as well as president of the Supreme People's Assembly. Kim Jong-nam, who was born in 1928, took office on September 5th, 1998, and left office on April 9th, 2009. He was in office for 10 years. (216 days). His political party was Workers' Party of Korea and was supported by Kim Jong-il. Now, the chairman of National Defense Commission was Kim Jong-il, whose life spanned from 1941 to 2011, took office on April 9th, 2009, until his death on December 17th, 2011. He was in office for 2 years, 252 days, and his political party was Workers' Party of Korea and was supported by himself. The head of state for North Korea was vacant since the death of Kim Jong-il on December 17th, 2011, until March 8th, 2012, when the first chairman of the National Defense Commission, Kim Jong-un, who was born in 1984, and took office on April 13th, 2012, and left office on June 29th, 2016. He was in office for 4 years, 113 days, and his political party was Workers' Party of North Korea. and was supported by himself. And the current chairman of National Defense is Kim Jong-un, who was born in 1984 and took office June 29th, 2016. He's been in office for 8 years, 14 days. Now, when I did research, it was 8 years, 14 days. Now, it's a lot more since then. His political party is Workers' Party of Korea and supported by himself. And with that, I'll see you all in the next one.